Part 1, The Foundation, Breaking the Condition, Nice Guy, Chapter 3, The Architecture of Lies. You are a fraud. I don't say that to be mean. I say it because it is the most accurate description of your current existence. You wake up next to a woman you are terrified of upsetting. You go to a job you hate to buy things you don't need to impress people you don't like. And when you come home and she asks you, how was your day? Or do I look fat in this? Or what are you thinking? You lie. You lie because you are afraid. You lie because you think the truth will cost you pussy. You lie because you have built an entire relationship, an entire life on the structural integrity of a marshmallow. This chapter is about the architecture of lies. It is about the complex, exhausting scaffolding you have erected to prop up a version of yourself that doesn't exist. This representative, this nice guy avatar you send out into the world is killing you. He is eating your testosterone, he is rotting your gut, and he is the reason your woman looks at you with that dull, glazed over look of boredom instead of the fiery look of submission and desire. We're going to tear this building down. We're going to look at the blueprints of your deception, understand why you felt the need to build it, and then we are going to light a match. Because you cannot be a king in a castle made of bullshit. 3.1, living in the comfort of a false reality. Let's talk about the representative. When you meet a woman, you don't send you send your representative. You are a guy who scratches his balls, watches football, finds fart jokes funny, and wants to have sex with her and her sister. A representative is a guy who loves long walks on the beach, enjoys listening to stories about her cat, and deeply cares about her opinions on interior design. The representative is a PR guy. He is the guy in the suit with the teeth that are too white. He gets you in the door. He gets you the first date. He might even get you the first fuck. But here's the problem. The representative cannot maintain the account. Eventually, the real you, the guy in the mailroom with the gold tooth and the dirty jokes, wants to come out. He wants to take his shoes off. He wants to stop pretending he cares about Grey's Anatomy. But he can't. Because the moment the real you shows up, the woman looks at you and says, you've changed. She's right. You duped her. You sold her a vacuum cleaner that you said will clean the house, cook dinner, and walk the dog. And 6 months later, she realizes it's just a vacuum cleaner. You are a false advertiser. This creates a false reality. You live in a world where you believe that if you just keep the representative on stage long enough, she will eventually love the real you. But she fell in love with the representative. She fell in love with the lie. I used to tell my girl, baby, stay in the Matrix. You know the movie, The Matrix. You take the blue pill, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Most men want women to take the blue pill. We want them to stay surface happy. We want them to believe that we are listening when we are actually thinking about the next game. We want them to believe that we are monogamous by nature, rather than monogamous by sheer force of will and lack of options. We build this matrix because we think women cannot handle the truth. And to a degree, we are right. Women claim they want honesty, but what they really want is a good lie. They want the fairy tale. They want to believe that you are their soulmate, that you have eyes only for them, and that you would never, ever want to fuck the waitress with the fat ass who just brought you your wings. But maintaining the matrix is exhausting. It requires constant energy. You have to remember your lies. You have to remember your lies. You have to remember which version of yourself you are supposed to be today. Do you like my friends? Internal truth, no. They are loud, obnoxious, and they encourage your worst behavior. Representative, yeah, babe, they're great. Stacy, so spirited. You say this because you want peace. You want the comfort of a frictionless existence. But this comfort is a trap. It is a warm bath that is slowly draining your blood. You are training her to love a man who doesn't exist. And because that man doesn't exist, you feel invisible. You feel unloved. You scream internally, she doesn't know me. Of course she doesn't know you, stupid. You never introduced her to you. You introduced her to the representative. This false reality is why you're tired. It is why you have no energy for your mission. You are spending all your horsepower rendering a fake world for a woman who will probably respect you more if you just shatter the illusion and shoulder the monster. 3.2, the destruction of false peace in relationships. You think you are keeping the peace. You are not. You are stockpiling dynamite. False peace is the state of a relationship where there is no outward conflict, but there is zero genuine connection or respect. It is the peace of a hostage situation where the hostages are too scared to move. You avoid the argument today to save the evening. I don't want to fight, you say. Yes, dear, you say. You think you are being noble. You think you are picking your battles. But you aren't picking battles. You are surrendering territory. Every time you swallow your truth to avoid a conflict, you lose a piece of your kingdom. Women are nature. Nature is chaos. Nature tests boundaries. The ocean tests the shore every single day. A woman will test your boundaries constantly. Not because she's evil, but because she needs to know if the walls of the house are strong enough to protect her. She throws a little fit. She acts a little bratty. She makes a demand that is slightly unreasonable. Can you go give me a glass of water? When she is closer to the kitchen than you are. The nice guy thinks, if I get the water, she will be happy. We will have peace. So he gets the water. He has just failed the test. He has just proven that he can be manipulated by a low-level request. He has accepted false peace over respect. The righteous man thinks, I am sitting down. You are standing up. Get your own damn water. He says, no. Now there's conflict. The peace is broken. The destruction of false peace has begun. You're so mean. You never do anything for me. She might scream. Good. Let her scream. This is the storm. You are the mountain. You do not move for the storm. By refusing to serve her whim, you have established a boundary. You have shown her that your comfort and your logic supersede her momentary desire to exert power over you. When you constantly choose false peace, you're engaging in negotiations with terrorists. What is the policy on negotiating with terrorists? We do not do it. Why? Because if you give them a cookie today to stop them from screaming, tomorrow they will want a glass of milk. Next week, they will want the whole factory. Women are emotional terrorists. I say that with love. They use their emotions, their tears, their yelling, their withdrawal of sexist weapons to get what they want. If you capitulate to the weapon, you validate its use. You teacher, if you want your way, just act crazy, and I will fold. You must be willing to destroy the false peace to build true order. True order comes from a man who is not afraid of his woman's emotions. It comes from a man who can look at a woman having a meltdown and say, I see you are upset. That sucks. I'm going to go watch TV until you're done. Come on, man. Boy, come on, man. Everybody's happy. And then, because one of the, this is how you train your dogs, it was no. You have to be willing to ruin the night. You have to be willing to ruin the weekend. You have to be willing to turn the car around and go home if she is acting up. Well, Patrice, if I do that, I won't get laid. Exactly. That is the leverage she has over you. You are a slave to the hope of pussy. Until you are willing to sacrifice the pussy to save your soul, you will always be a slave. The destruction of false peace is scary. It feels like you are blowing up your life. But you are only blowing up the cage. You are blowing up the fake world where you have to walk on eggshells. On the other side of that explosion is respect. On the other side is a woman who looks at you and thinks, I can't manipulate this motherfucker. He is solid. He is dangerous. And that, my friend, is what makes panties drop. Not flowers, not apologies, strength. 3.3. Women lie and why it kills their spirit. Why do you lie? Let's cut through the bullshit. You don't lie to protect her feelings. You lie to protect yourself from her reaction. You lie because you have an editing system installed in your brain. Here's how it works. The gut, you feel something. I want to fuck her sister. This food is nasty. I don't want to go to your mother's house. The signal, the truth travels up towards your mouth. The editor, before it hits your lips, the editing system intervenes. It asks, will saying this get me laid? Will saying this get me laid? Will saying this cause a fight? Will this make me look like a good man? The output, if the answer is no, the editor scrubs the truth and replaces it with a safe, bland lie. Your sister is nice. The food is delicious. I'd love to see her, Mom. This editing system is the killer of men. Every time you edit yourself, you're telling your subconscious mind, my truth is not valid. My desires are wrong. I'm not enough. You are castrating yourself one syllable at a time. This constant state of self-censorship creates a deep, simmering resentment. You start to hate her. You hate her not because she is doing anything wrong, but because you feel like you have to perform for her. You feel like a dancing monkey in a circus performing tricks for peanut sex. And the worst part? She knows you are lying. Women are intuitive creatures. They have millions of years of evolutionary hardware designed to detect bullshit. When you say it's fine, when it isn't fine, she hears the dissonance. She smells the fear. She might not call you on immediately. She might accept the lie because it's convenient for her. But her respect for you drops a notch. She sees a man who is afraid to stand on his square. Honesty brutal. Unfiltered honesty is the only antidote. It kills the spirit to live as a fraud. It drains your testosterone. Have you ever noticed how energized you feel when you finally snap and tell someone off? That rush, that is your spirit coming back to life. That is your manness returning. You need to practice the art of removing the filter. If she asks, do I look old? The editor says, no, baby, you look 25. The truth says, you look your age. You look 35. And that's fine. If she asks, why were you looking at that girl? The editor says, I wasn't looking. I was looking at the traffic light. The truth says, because her ass is huge and I am a man with eyes. I look at Ferraris too. Doesn't mean I'm going to steal one. When you speak the truth, you become dangerous. You become unpredictable. You become real. Men lie because we think women are fragile. We think if I tell her the truth, she will crumble. Stop being so arrogant. Women are tough. They push babies out of their bodies. They bleed for a week and don't die. They can handle your pain on their cooking. What they cannot handle, what drives them insane, is the cognitive dissonance of a man who says one thing but radiates another. When you lie, you are blocking true intimacy. You are preventing her from knowing the real you. And if she doesn't know the real you, she can't love the real you. She can only love the real you. She can only love the representative. And the representative is a faggot. You have to be willing to let the representative die. You have to be willing to stand in the rubble of your false reality and say, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. Most of the time, she will take it because a man who owns his truth is a rare commodity in a world of simps and liars. And if she leaves, good. She was in love with a ghost anyway. You are free. Stop apologizing for your nature. Stop apologizing for your desires. Stop apologizing for your logic. Kill the editor. Save the man.